Kim Jong-il, Muammar Gaddafi and Stalin, all known for being cruel dictators that ruled their lands for decades with oppression. Why do I mention this? Well, cause we are going to do the same, just in a game and not in real life, cause that might get me into trouble. So there's this game called Frostpunk, which we're gonna play today, and you essentially run a town, but the key part is, you're in an ice age, and in order to survive, you have a giant generator that keeps you and your citizens alive. Also you can sign new laws and choose between a religious city or a dictatorship, which is of course our goal. But enough from that, and let's get into the game. So here we are in our beautiful city. I've already built some gathering posts, but more important, I'm going to sign my first law, which is child labor. I know that might sound rough, but you gotta take some action here to get that whole thing starting. Unfortunately, the people don't like my decision too much, so yeah, their hope, which is the blue bar, is going down. And once it hits rock bottom, they will kick me out of the town and let me freeze to death. So here we are now at the end of day 1, and people are already bitching around that they have no shelter, and so we're gonna build some tents for them. So we're now at day 2, tents are built, and I got my research going. And I forgot to say that, but that's also pretty important, because without that you will probably die pretty soon. Also every now and then events happen, where you have to take action and choose between 2 to 3 options. And in this case, one of our child workers hurt himself, so we either give him now a day off, or we just tell him to watch out next time, but let's go with option 1. That seems better if you want to avoid getting kicked out of my own town. So, our scouts have already found some survivors out there, which means more population to dictate. But unfortunately, also more tents to build and more food I need. So, we're now at day 4 and the first dude has already died. We can now either build a cemetery, which gives us hope, but costs materials, or a snow pit, which who would have thought is for free, cause, well, there's plenty of snow in an ice age. So I think we're gonna go with the budget version. So we finally turned on our generators, but not before 4 of my citizens froze to death. But I mean, some people have to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. And by the way, the temperature has gone down to minus 40 degrees, so yeah. So I'm currently at day 8, till now nothing too special happened, that's why I skipped it. But I just built some new stuff, did research, and my scout found even more people and rescued them. So far so good, but unfortunately we now have some sick people, and one of them is gravely sick, which ain't that good. So now we have to sign a new law. We either can go for sustained life or radical treatments, which means amputations. But I don't like those 2 options, so we go for organ transplants from the corpses laying in the snow pit. I mean, I'm not sure how organ transplants work in the 19th century, but let's just go for it. Meanwhile, our scouts have found Winterhome, another city just like the one we live in, but it seems like it's not going that well over there. I mean, eating the corpses of the dead people is a bit drastical, so I guess we just take whatever we can get and leave. Okay, it seems like the news that Winterhome is fallen and that we are alone might have some negative effects on my population, and therefore some of my people see the only chance of surviving in leaving the city and trying to reach London. So now we have to rally our people together, and we either can do that by going for a spiritual way or by becoming a brutal dictator that uses propaganda and force to rule his city. Yeah, I mean, the choice is pretty obvious. So first things first, we're gonna build some watchtowers to keep our people in line, like a real dictator would do that. Also some of my people seem to have frostbite, which leaves us with no choice than to sign a new law called radical treatment, which is a nice description of cutting off your regions that suffer under frostbite. Since some of my people are now cripples, we need new workers in our mines. But thankfully, we can sign a new law for that would help us out. Yep, it's child labor 2.0. So basically kids can now work in every workplace, no matter how dangerous this workplace might be. The only trade-off is that this content will rise, hope will fall, and that children could get hurt or killed while working in a mine. But it seems like a good trade-off for new mine workers. So, surprisingly, a child got crushed by a machine, and we either can stop the facility and try to rescue the kid, or keep working and let the kid die. Okay, I mean, I'm trying to be a dictator, but nah, we will try to rescue him. So turns out that all the effort was not enough and that the kid died. Which probably is going to fuck up our hope bar even more. Yep, that doesn't seem too good. Even more if you keep in mind that once it hits rock bottom, my citizens will send me on exile. And that doesn't seem too chill with minus 30 degrees. So seems like events happen now in no time. So while new survivors have reached the city, have my scouts found a cave where people were hiding themselves from polar bears. And of course, brave as our scouts are, they killed the bears, but died due to the injuries or something like that. So I mean, we lost now a scout team, but gained even more citizens. And while all of that happened, my guards got killed while trying to remove Londoners' slogans from the wall. I mean, I like how they say got beaten up, while the picture shows you how the guy just gets stabbed in the stomach. But anyway, this means now we need more watchtowers to keep our people safe, if you know what I mean. So turns out people are desperate and gave me 2 days to turn things around, or I'm gonna get kicked. Yeah, as you can see, it's looking pretty bad. A fourth of my people want to leave town, and the tendency is rising. Hope is at 0, people are homeless and starving as well. And yeah, I get that they're pretty desperate. So let's hope 2 days are enough to turn things around. First things first, let's build my guard stations. Okay, perfect. And see, that's how you get the hope back. I actually thought that was way harder, but seems like you only need to build some shit in order to get them satisfied. And people also support my guards now with hot soup. How nice of them, I guess. But I mean, it's a bit strange because 2 days ago you killed them and now you bring them hot soup. That's weird, but I guess I take it. Okay, seems like I've turned things around and everything is going fine again. But before people start bitching around again, I'd rather build a propaganda center to keep the morale high. Just look at that. It looks beautiful. But that's already it for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more Frostpunk, just let me know in the comments. Also don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.